Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 Audi A6 Allroad. This model also has the Prestige package. Huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this wagon for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description below. So this A6 is finished off in Manhattan Gray Metallic. MSRP is just shy of $80,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter turbocharged V6. It's also paired to a hybrid system along with the 7-speed automatic. It pumps out 335 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the quattro all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,400-pound wagon from 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. It has a top speed of 129 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19.3 gallons. You'll expect to see 22 miles per gallon in the city, 30 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 115.2 inches. Its overall length is 194.9. It has a width of 74.9, a height of 58.9, and its ground clearance measures in just over 7 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, this has a really nice design to it, along with a few other packages. There's the black optics package, so the entire grille is finished off in gloss black, including the surround. The one exception is the chrome Audi badge. This also has a forward-facing camera, and then on both sides of that grille are the sensors for the distance pacing. There's also parking sensors located throughout the front. This is also equipped with LEDs for all of the lighting too. And then there's more cutouts in the lower section, some really nice angled lines too. And then very crisp corners coming down both sides of the hood, meeting the top of that hexagonal grille. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a very nice set of wheels with the multi-spoke design to them. There's also body-colored fender arches. There's gloss black in the lower section of the front bumper, and it works its way to the side skirt, where quattro is also stamped in that back section. Now, this does have power folding side mirrors with the camera and turn signal, and there's a full moonroof up top along with roof racks. All of the window trim is gloss black too, just to tie in with the rest of those accents. There's a spoiler up top with the third brake light, and then the wiper blade in the lower section, and then LEDs for the lighting in back. Now there's also a backup camera, all of the parking sensors, and then some more gloss black accents running in the lower section and the diffuser there. Now you can also use the key fob or the electronic release underneath to open up the power liftgate. Now, for being a wagon, this has a lot of space. It's basically like an SUV in the back. You have a pretty deep compartment here where you can place items. Now, there's also a storage net over on the driver's side, and you have the ability to fold down the back seats by using these tabs. So that will give you a lot more interior space. With the back seats up, you also have this, so you can hide items as needed, and you also do get a spare underneath the floor, where you could use that for maybe a little bit of extra storage. There's a 12-volt and a strap over on that passenger side. And then 2 buttons up top where you can close the liftgate or lock the entire vehicle. Now, if you do lock it, you can unlock it from the back door handles. So this has proximity door handles in all 4 corners. And then in back, you do have the manual adjusting sunshades. There's also brushed aluminum accents, some Alcantara wood trim accents too, Bang & Olufsen, and more storage down below. And then a really nice design for the seats with all of the gray piping. Now, once in back, at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. There's storage nets too. There's air vents in the middle, and then all of the climate adjustments where you can go through those, along with the heated seats too. And there's some auxiliaries in the lower section. Now, at my height, 5'10", I'd say I have about a ½ inch to an inch or so of headroom. So it's pretty comfortable. I can sit upright and be perfectly fine riding around town. Now, for the center, there's the armrest, where there's a little bit of storage underneath that, and then you have 2 cup holders on the end there. And you can also fold down this middle seat. If you need a little bit more space, more versatility, you have that option. And then here's a look at visibility. You have very large windows in the back, so you can easily see around this entire section. Now up front, you'll notice there's memory seating adjustments, lock and unlock, all the same materials, of course. Power folding side mirrors are also heated too, which is really nice. All of the window controls are brushed aluminum. There's a liftgate release and more storage down below. And then same design for the front seats. This is also a very low vehicle. So just as if you were getting into a sedan, of course, where this has a leather steering wheel, there's paddle shifters on both sides. But let's start this up and we can go over the rest of this information where on the right side, there's volume, tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. There's also a favorites button. And then on the left side, you have view and these arrows here to go through the virtual cockpit. Now on the far left and the far right, there's engine temperature and fuel. And then with the screen right now, you can scroll through all this information here, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then you can also scroll over. You have distance pacing, your audio, phone, and navigation. Now, if you want to view the nav in full screen, just click on view, and you can also go through the rest of this information in full screen as well. So just depending on what you need to see for the day, you have those adjustments. Now there's cruise, distance pacing on the left side. You also get a little bit of storage down below. There's the headlight adjustments, gloss black, brushed aluminum, and wood trim accents. This also has a head-up display and leather for the entire dash. Now there's air vents underneath that, and then more wood trim, brushed aluminum, and gloss black running right in the middle. Now for the upper screen, you have quite a lot to go through. So there's a lot of icons that you can scroll through. If you go into vehicle, this is how you can get into drive select. So you can go through all of these modes depending on what you are doing for the day. And then you have your lighting, visibility, and shortcuts over on the left side. So you can quickly get through all of that information. Now in between both of these screens, you have engine start stop, a downhill assist. This also features parallel parking, so you can use that as needed. When you push on the 4 squares, this is where you can have pre-programmed addresses, so you can quickly get into those. There's a control where you can go through the head-up display information, and you can even shut that upper screen off as needed. Now in the lower screen, if you push on the 3 circles in the middle, you can get into the heated steering wheel, along with being able to adjust the rear climate controls. For the rest of the system, when you turn it on, this is how you can go through your front seat passenger adjustments, temperature, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go, all of that information. This also has heated and ventilated seats. You have a shortcut to the drive select, so you can quickly get into that. There's traction control, defrosters, volume and tuning. And then you also have a shortcut to the driver assistance, so you can go through all this and set it up as needed. You also have a shortcut to parallel parking and the camera system too. So this does have the 360 system, where you have all these different angles with that top-down view, and you can even get to the 3D view, of course, and swipe around the entire vehicle. Now to put this into reverse, simply just push this forwards. You have drive and the ability to shift using the shifter. And then park is located right on the back. Now you have cup holders, a 12-volt e-brake, and then under the armrest, there's auxiliaries and wireless charging, which is neat. And you have the adjustment for that armrest. There's also additional storage space down below. Garage door buttons up top with the rear view mirror, touch-sensitive dome lights, and controls for both sunshades and the front sunroof. And look at how much glass is in this wagon. You have a lot of visibility over both shoulders. As we set up behind the wheel now for the Audi A6 Allroad, I previously reviewed the A4 Allroad, so if you'd like to take a look at that full review, I checked that out earlier this year. But with the A6 here, very identical, of course, to that model. We just have a larger engine, maybe a little bit more space, but it's nearly identical to the A4. I think this is a really cool option. The wagon isn't something that's too popular for the United States. However, I think it's making a comeback with some of the other brands coming out with some newer station wagons. It's a really good blend if you're looking for a vehicle that is going to offer you a lot of cargo space, and especially with having the all-wheel drive system. This is something that you can take off the pavement. It's not something to off-road necessarily, but it's something that could go down some gravel roads, things like that, get you to a camping site or whatever adventure you are looking to go on. So it's a really nice option, and I think the wagons with this modern look to it are giving it a really cool design. So it's something that I'm not really around too often, but I have been able to check out some station wagons for the 25-year model that I think all have something great to offer. Now with this A6 in general, it rides very nice. It's super smooth, and we do have a few different driving modes too. So we are in auto at the moment, but we can easily put it into a dynamic mode, and we have the paddle shifters too. So let's give this a small acceleration from second gear, where this has a good bit of power. So that was a very short acceleration, of course, but this has a good bit of power for it compared to the A4, which does have a smaller engine. So just depending on the horsepower options, that you are looking to get, you have two different options. But paddles are super responsive too, and it's just a nice, smooth vehicle to drive. It's also very quiet as well. So from an Audi, of course, especially for this price point, but Audis in general, this is going to give you a great daily driving vehicle that offers a lot of space and is just going to be very premium feeling. Now, you do have several different options. Of course, this model is almost fully loaded. We do have another step up above this, however, but you have some very nice options for this model, and it even corners well. Going around that turn that I just did, handles very well for a vehicle like this. It's not super performance oriented. If you're looking for that, you can jump up to the RS6 Avant if you want even more power out of your family station wagon. But like I said, handling is great just for the normal speeds that I'm going today. Seating position is comfortable too, and we even have the massaging seats, which I didn't really show on the screen, but you have a few different options here to go through just to make your ride that much more enjoyable. And we're still in dynamic second gear. Here we go. And just a mild acceleration. The shifts are incredibly smooth, both on the upshifts and the downshifts too. So while this isn't like the RS6 Avant, you can still have a little bit of performance fun with the A6 Allroad here. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel, where we have some very nice materials for this model and just a really nice driving vehicle. Now, I get to drive a lot of Audis, of course, and they all have a pretty similar feel for the interior, but they're all very, very refined feeling. This is a fantastic vehicle and one that would be great for daily driving, especially with the tech features that are available for this model. It's just going to be a great vehicle to drive. Now, hopefully you can tell, super quiet too. And for a station wagon, you don't sit too low, which I like about vehicles like this. So you feel like you're in an SUV even though it's much lower, but you don't sink down into the seat. Now, we do have the height adjustable seat, of course, so you can change that just depending on what your personal preference is. But I have a great look out of the hood. I can easily see in front here, and it just has a really good position to it. You do get a little bit of space in between the mirrors and the pillar there too for additional visibility over both sides. But in general, visibility is also very easy to see just with the size of the glass. Now, this model also has a few parking aids, including the parallel parking feature, which is great. This is a longer vehicle, so a situation like that, this is going to make it much easier to park and maneuver as needed. Now, as we make a quick U-turn, this is a long vehicle, like I just said, but with its turning radius, not too bad. A little bit tight in the steering there, but we can easily maneuver on a road like this, which is very nice. So it's a great vehicle that you could drive around the city, park fairly decently. Parallel parking is going to help you obviously too. Let's give it one last acceleration here. And just like that, we're up to speed. That is going to wrap it up for the 2025 Audi A6 Allroad. Once again, huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.